a gentleman who was crushed by a car there, and then they also found 2 dead prostitutes behind the building in the 70s, and a homeless man died there in 1985. So this does have a history of spiritual activity. Now, we went later than the day after this picture was taken. I'm going to show all of you. This is the tattoo parlor. Now, as you can see, it's just a basic tattoo parlor. Now, what we're going to look at is this section of the room right here. As you can see, there's nothing here. This in the window, this reflection here is the curtains across the way. It's not any part of the thing that you're going to be looking at. Now you can see here that this light presents a rectangular look, and you can also see the consistency of the ceiling. Now, I have to preface this by saying the guy who owns this place is not the smartest man in the world. He's not a Photoshop genius. He walked into his shop, felt it was weird, took this picture, texted it to me 2 minutes later. This is what we saw. When I went in the picture, I noticed that there was something in the corner that I've never seen before. And as I zoomed in, I noticed that it is a full-on face. Now, the most incredible thing about this is that you can see the reflection of the light coming through her eyes.
There's 2 faces, I think.
This one is actually the top of the ceiling. Now, the most amazing thing about this is you can look at that. You pass this picture around. Those aren't human eyes. Those are not live eyes. That's not a person with life in the eyes. There's no way that a human being could see that. Now, it's not scary. These aren't scary. In fact, to be honest, I think knowing ghosts are real is a lot more exciting than thinking that I die and don't exist anymore. That's a little more rewarding to me. No, this is an actual, as you can see, this is not something that was in the other picture. That right there is not in that picture. It's there, but it's not there. It's there. Now, this is the most amazing thing about this. If you look at this, you can actually see right here that there's actually kind of like a lace dress forming around her neck, almost like an outfit. Well, we started moving the picture around, and I noticed this little thing in the middle, this mist, and as I scrolled out, I noticed it's the rest of her outfit. It's the rest of the dress forming. You can see right here, you can see the collar, you can see the arm, you can see the dress coming down and flowing all the way to the floor, and if you look at this pattern right here in this collar looks like a lacy nightgown that is actually the same exact pattern as what she's wearing there. You can almost tell when you look at the two side by side that it looks like here's her body and there's her face, and that is the full outfit. Now, the other thing about this is this guy sent me a picture of his mom from 1975, and it's almost the exact same picture. So, not picture, but actual same face. He believes that it's his mom because we've done spirit box and EVPs there, and we've gotten a lot of really, really interesting, their names being said, some really interesting stuff. If you guys want to hear something else, this is an amazing EVP that I got. This one's creepy. You might not want to hear this one. This is, for those of you that don't know what EVPs are electronic voice phenomenon. What it means is when you record on a digital recorder, whether you're recording on a cell phone or whether you're recording on a laptop, we use a program called Audacity, which is a free program you can download, and what it is it, when you talk, it shows you where all the bumps and stuff are, and so you can go back and you can ask a question, and you can see the big silent part, and then you'll see little things where EVPs pop up. We were at a house a place where I got the most, I'll show you that one too, where I got the most realistic, or not realistic because it was real, the most convincing orb that I've ever seen in my entire life. It was a house that my buddy lives in, and he was seeing shadow figures. His daughter was talking to somebody in her closet. There was these weird fingerprints that were showing up around his house. And so we went there, and we sat in this room recording, and we recorded 28 minutes of a woman's voice coming through underneath our voices. Now, a lot of it you can't really tell what she's saying, but you can tell, and this is what's amazing about this. And how we found this was at the end, what we believe this is we recorded her suicide. There's a gunshot at the end, and that's how we found it, was this big block of sound that none of us heard. But to me, it is 100% a snub-nosed gunshot up close in a small room, and you can hear this woman crying. The children. And none of this was heard. It was a completely silent room. And this was buried underneath. This is enhanced. But we got 27 minutes of her talking and crying and weeping. And it was just really outrageous. At the same time that we recorded that, we recorded this, which is the clearest orb I've ever seen in my entire life. You guys can all see this. We were filming. I have a spirit box. What a spirit box is just a little device that cycles through radio stations. And it's sitting on top of a speaker. Now, when I record things, and I've gotten hundreds of these orbs that fly past our spirit box. A lot of times we'll get them to fly. In fact, I've got one, my newest video that I just posted on my YouTube channel. There's a voice that says, "I'm here," and then a light flies right past our thing. This is the only one that I've ever seen form in front of me and fly away. Now, on this video, these are the fingerprints, by the way, that he was finding around his house. These dark black fingerprints. This was in his daughter's room all around his house. But we're sitting there setting up for the spirit box session, and this thing comes out of our box. And you can see, Now watch, you can actually in slow motion see this thing form out of our spirit box. It flies up, changes direction, stops for a second, and then takes off. It forms, you can see it actually materialize, become thick, come almost out of frame, turn, stop, and then fly right off. Now that's not dust, that's not light, that's not anything that I can explain. I don't know what exactly what these things are, but I've recorded some incredible stuff. I've gotten, in the television show that we did, we were sitting there on our spirit box, and at the end of our spirit box set, we're sitting in this sushi restaurant, a haunted sushi restaurant, if you can believe it, and we're doing a spirit box session, and it's completely quiet in the box, and all of a sudden this voice comes through our spirit box and just goes, "How's the ghost hunt?" That loud, that clear. I've never heard a full sentence, and I've never heard a spirit voice ask a group of ghost hunters how the ghost hunt was going.